Have you ever found yourself wondering why some people in their 60s and 70s are full of energy, walking with a spring in their step, sharp as a tack, while others seem to slow down too quickly, like their spark just quietly faded out? Maybe you've noticed it in yourself, too. Getting out of bed takes a bit longer. You forget why you walked into the kitchen. Or maybe you're just tired in a way you never used to be. And the frustrating part, you're not even doing anything particularly wrong. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. It's often the little daily habits though. Things we don't even realize we're doing that slowly wear down our bodies, cloud our minds, and shorten our lifespan without making a sound. You don't have to make huge, complicated changes. But becoming aware of these silent habits, taking small, thoughtful steps to change them can make all the difference. Not just in how long you live, but in how well you live. More energy, sharper memory, less pain, more joy. So today, we're going to have an honest, down-to-earth conversation about 7 everyday habits that might be quietly stealing your years. Not to scare you, but to empower you because once you know what's draining your life force, you can take it back. Let's start with the first one, and it's probably more common than you think. It's spending most of your days sitting now. I know rest is important, especially as we age. There's nothing wrong with sitting down to enjoy your morning coffee, catch up on the news, or relax with a good book. But the danger comes when sitting becomes your default. Think about it. From breakfast to the afternoon nap to the evening TV time adds up fast. Studies have shown that prolonged sitting can slow your metabolism, weaken your muscles, and even increase your risk for heart disease and certain cancers. But here's the kicker. Even if you go for a walk once a day, it might not be enough to offset 8 to 10 hours of being still. That doesn't mean you need to join a gym or start running marathons. What it does mean is moving your body in small ways. Throughout the day, stretching your arms while brushing your teeth, standing up during commercials, walking while talking on the phone. It's about breaking up long periods of stillness and reawakening your circulation. Try setting a simple timer, maybe every 45 minutes. When it goes off, just stand up, stretch, walk to the window, or take a few deep breaths while rolling your shoulders. These tiny breaks can stimulate your joints, keep your blood flowing, and give your brain a much-needed jolt of oxygen. It's not about being busy, it's about being alive. Movement reminds your body that it's still vibrant, still functioning, still needed, and trust me, your body listens. Now let's talk about another sneaky habit that's often mistaken for harmless or even helpful, but is quietly draining your energy, mood, and vitality. I'm talking about skipping meals, especially breakfast. Now, I know some people wake up and just aren't hungry, or they think, well, I don't really need that many calories anymore, do I? But skipping meals, especially in your 60s and beyond, can actually backfire in a big way. When your body doesn't get the fuel it needs, it goes into conservation mode. Your metabolism slows down, your blood sugar drops, your brain gets foggy, and pretty soon you're feeling sluggish, moody, maybe even dizzy, and you're not entirely sure why. It might not feel like a big deal at first, but over time, this habit can lead to muscle loss, cognitive decline, and even a weakened immune system. Your body needs steady nourishment to keep everything running: your heart, your brain, your muscles, your bones. You don't need to eat a feast. But skipping meals completely can throw everything out of balance. And here's something many people don't realize. As you age, Your body doesn't signal hunger as strongly. You may not feel that gnawing hunger like you did in your 30s, but just because you're not ravenous doesn't mean your body isn't hungry. That quiet, nagging fatigue in the afternoon, that's often low blood sugar talking. The good news, fixing this is easy. Start your day with something simpler: slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter, a boiled egg, a small bowl of oatmeal with fruit. Even a banana and a glass of water is better than nothing. You're not just fueling your body, you're sending a signal to your metabolism that it's time to wake up, time to move, time to live. And if you're worried about overeating or gaining weight, here's a helpful tip. When you start your day with steady nutrition, you're actually less likely to binge later. Your energy levels stabilize, your cravings go down, and your mood evens out. You make better choices, and your body thanks you for it. It's never about perfection, it's about intention. Being kind to your body means giving it what it needs, not what's convenient or what you've always done, but what keeps you thriving. Now that we've talked about the hidden dangers of sitting too long and skipping meals, it's time to take a closer look at something that might be affecting your health every single day. Something that often hides behind good intentions. That's neglecting hydration. It sounds simple, right? Just drink water. But let me ask you, honestly, when was the last time you drank a full glass of water before you felt thirsty? If you can't remember, you're definitely not alone. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes much less reliable. Your body may desperately need water, but it won't always tell you in the ways it used to. A mild dehydration, even just being a little underhydrated each day, can show up as fatigue, brain fog, joint stiffness, and even irritability. Most people don't connect the dots. They'll say, "I guess I'm just getting older," when really, they're just not getting enough water. Water keeps everything flowing: your blood, your digestion, your memory, even your mood. When you're hydrated, your body can detoxify more easily, your joints are cushioned, your skin glows a little brighter, your thinking sharpens. It's like giving oil to a squeaky machine. It starts working smoothly again. Now, I'm not saying you need to carry around a jug or chug liters all day long. It can be as simple as sipping throughout the day. Start with a glass when you wake up, before the coffee, before the toast. Then just keep a small bottle nearby, or use little reminders, like tying it to your meal times. Drink a glass with breakfast, another with lunch, and one at dinner. That's already progress. If you don't love plain water, no problem. Herbal teas, water with a slice of lemon, or even some fruits like watermelon or cucumbers help keep you hydrated. Just go easy on the sugary drinks and sodas. They dehydrate more than they help. The point is, your body is doing amazing work every single day to keep you alive and well. The least we can do is give it the hydration it needs to do that job well. Now, let's talk about another habit that can be surprisingly dangerous, especially for your peace of mind, and that's consuming too much negative news or screen time. Now, I'm not saying you should bury your head in the sand or avoid staying informed. It's good to know what's going on in the world. But if the first thing you do in the morning is scroll through headlines of disasters, violence, and arguments, it can set the tone for your entire day. And the worst part, most of it is completely out of your control. The constant stream of fear, conflict, and negativity triggers your stress response even if you're just sitting comfortably in your living room. That stress, over time, wears down your immune system, raises your blood pressure, and disrupts your sleep. You might find yourself feeling more anxious, more cynical, even more tired and not understand why. Now, I'm not telling you to give up your favorite news program or stop using your phone altogether, but it's about being intentional instead of waking up and immediately absorbing all the problems in the world. Give yourself a buffer. Start your day with something that lifts you up. A few deep breaths, a walk outside, a chapter from a book you love, or even just a quiet moment looking out the window. You can still catch up on the news, but maybe not first thing in the morning or right before bed. And when you do, try balancing it out with content that inspires you. Watch something funny, listen to music that moves you, or learn something new. Fill your brain with thoughts that heal, not just headlines that hurt. It's your mental space. You get to choose what lives there. And while we're on the subject of mental space, there's another habit that quietly erodes not just your health, but your sense of purpose, and that's neglecting connection with others. Now, I know this. One can be tough. As we get older, social circles can shrink. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and sometimes people just drift. It can feel easier to stay to yourself, especially if you've been disappointed before. But loneliness, over time, becomes more than just an emotion. It becomes a health risk. In fact, chronic loneliness has been linked to everything from heart disease to dementia. It raises stress hormones, suppresses immunity, and even increases the risk of early death. And yet, unlike a sore knee or high blood pressure, no doctor writes it down on a chart. It goes unnoticed until it takes its toll. But here's the hopeful part. Connection doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a huge group of friends or a full social calendar. Sometimes it's as simple as making one phone call a day, smiling at someone at the grocery store, volunteering for a cause that matters to you, or starting a conversation with a neighbor over the fence. Human beings were built for connection. It's what lights up the parts of our brain that say, yes, I'm alive, I matter, I belong, and you do matter. You bring wisdom, experience, stories that someone else needs to hear. Even if you're quiet or introverted, there are ways to connect that fit who you are. Sometimes the first step is just being open. Let go of the idea that you're too old to make new friends or try something new. That's just a story, and it's not true. You still have so much life left to live, so much to offer. And surrounding yourself with a few warm souls, even if it's just through a phone call or a kind conversation, can be the difference between surviving thriving. So, if you've been sitting more than you move, if you're skipping meals without even thinking about it, if that water glass has been empty most of the day, if the TV or phone fills your space with worry instead of hope, or if your days feel just a little too quiet too often, don't be discouraged. Awareness is the first step, and now that we're aware, we can shift. Not everything needs to change at once, but little steps, taken steadily, can give you back the energy, the clarity, the joy that may have slowly faded without you even noticing. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not too old. You're just getting started. Let's keep going, because there's one more habit that often hides behind what feels like comfort. But over time, it slowly chips away at your health, independence, and even your sense of self. And that's not challenging your mind. Now, I'm not talking about doing algebra or memorizing Shakespeare, unless you enjoy that kind of thing. But your brain is like a muscle. If it's not being stretched, if it's not being given something new to chew on, it starts to shrink back, just like an unused arm or leg. The problem is, it doesn't happen all at once. It starts with small things: forgetting names, misplacing your keys more often, losing the thread of a conversation. And you might brush it off, thinking, well, that's just aging, right? But it doesn't have to be. You see, your brain is hungry for stimulation. It wants to learn. It thrives when it has something new to process. And every time you take on a small mental challenge, whether it's learning a new recipe, picking up a hobby you've never tried, doing a crossword, reading about a subject you know nothing about, sure, firing up those brain cells, you're keeping them awake. You're sending a clear message: I'm still growing, I'm still curious, I'm still here. And that's powerful. So don't be afraid to try something new. You don't have to be perfect at it. You just have to engage with it. Maybe you've always wanted to learn to play an instrument or speak a little French. Maybe you want to try painting, gardening, or writing stories from your life. Maybe it's simply switching hands when you brush your teeth, or taking a different route on your walk. These little changes matter. They challenge your brain to adapt, to work in new ways, and to stay resilient. And here's something beautiful. When you challenge your mind, it doesn't just protect your memory, it also lifts your spirit. It reminds you that life is still full of wonder and discovery even after 60, 70, or 80. Now, the last daily habit I want to share with you may be the most overlooked of all. It's quiet, invisible, and it affects nearly every area of your health. It's holding on to resentment, bitterness, or regret. I know, this one's not as simple as drinking more water or standing up every hour. But if you've been carrying emotional weight, whether it's anger at a family member, guilt over something in your past, or pain from a relationship that changed or ended, shows up in your body. Chronic stress and emotional strain can raise your blood pressure, weaken your immune system, and increase your risk of heart problems. But more than that, they quietly drain your joy. They make you tired. They keep you stuck in the past, even when there's so much good still waiting for you now. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself. You don't need to have a big conversation or make peace with everyone from your past. Sometimes it's simply saying to yourself, I don't want to carry this anymore. That's it. That's enough. You deserve peace. You deserve rest, not just for your body, but for your heart. And the older we get, the more important that becomes, because every moment of peace we create within ourselves gives us more space for health, for laughter, for love. So if there's something weighing you down, a memory, a grudge, an old wound, yourself gently, do I still need to carry this? And if the answer is no, let it go, or begin to. Healing is a process, and you're allowed to take your time, but you're also allowed to start today, now. Let's take a breath together. You've just walked through some honest, maybe even challenging truths about daily habits that could be stealing time and energy from your life. But the most important thing to remember is this: it's never too late to change. Never too late to reclaim your time, your health, your sense of joy. These aren't just habits, they're choices. And when you become aware of them, you get your power back. So let's remind ourselves, you don't need to sit for hours on end. Get up, stretch, move a little. It adds up more than you think. Don't skip your meals. Your body needs fuel to keep you strong, sharp, and energized. Drink water like your life depends on it, because honestly, it does. Give your mind something positive each day. Avoid the negativity loop and choose inspiration instead. Reach out, connect. One smile, one chat, one call can light up your day and someone else's too. Keep learning, keep stretching that beautiful brain of yours. It's still growing, still capable, still alive, and finally, make peace. Not for anyone else, but for you. You deserve that freedom. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to care. And if you've watched this far, that tells me something very important. You do care. You want to thrive, not just survive. You want to make the most of this incredible chapter of your life. So let's walk forward together, not in fear of aging, but with pride in how far you've come, hope for all the years still ahead. You've got wisdom, experience, heart, and strength. And when you take care of your body, your mind, and your soul, you open the door to a future that's brighter, bolder, and more joyful than ever. Thank you for being here today. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your experiences, or even one habit you're ready to change in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos that are all about helping you live longer, stronger, and happier, one simple step at a time. Here's to your health. Here's to your freedom. Here's to living your best life. At any age, you've earned it. If today's message spoke to you even just one small part, go ahead and click that like button. It really helps this video reach others who might need it, just like you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. Simple, honest tips to help you live longer, feel stronger, and enjoy life more each day. And I'd truly love to hear from you. What habit are you ready to change? Or what's helped you feel healthier and happier after 60? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. You're not alone on this journey. We're in it together.